Welcome to the Missing Media channel. I'm your host, Rabina Rastavan, aka the Realist Astrologer. And I gotta get in on this Taye Diggs situation. So, Taye Diggs is in the news recently, and basically he's talking some smack again about black women. He's been known to say some things about black women in the past, and just how his feelings about his son being biracial and all this stuff. So I'm just going to read a little bit from Essence.com about what Taye Diggs said. So Taye Diggs has starred in some of our favorite films and TV shows, from The Best Man and Brown Sugar to Private Practice and Empire. While fans have loved to watch him work his magic on screen, some weren't too keen on his relationship choices. After becoming a fan favorite among black audiences, some sisters were disappointed when they found out he was married to fellow actress Idina Menzel, a white woman. Though the pair had known each other for years before getting hitched in 2003, some felt Diggs' interracial marriage was a slap in the face to his mostly black fan base. Though Menzel and Diggs later divorced, the actor said he dealt with pain and bitterness towards black women who still give him a hard time. To this day, I thought you only like white girls, the actor said during a recent interview with Van Lathan on the Red Pill podcast. Though he's been in a relationship with biracial actress and model Amanza Smith for the past few years, Diggs said he's tired of dispelling the myth. It doesn't matter how I explain myself, he said, there's always going to be someone talking. Because of the criticism he's received over the years, Diggs said he's now in a place where he doesn't care what people think about his dating choices, but he admitted still harbors some resentment about how he was treated. Deep down inside, there's resentment. I don't want to say I suppress it, but I just watch it. When it happens to you personally, even though you understand the logic, there's trauma there, he said. I don't know if I can ever mess with a white girl now, Diggs continued. I don't like that. That goes against who I am as a person. I feel like I've had to deal with that so long, it has to change what I think I like, what I'm attracted to. Over on Twitter, people had strong reactions to Diggs' assertion that he no longer feels comfortable dating women. After acknowledging that black women are one of the most disrespected and disparaged groups in America, which prompts some to feel strongly about black men who date outside their race, Diggs offered some advice. In order for us as a people to move forward, is to learn how to love yourself and to not make excuses, he said. The more time you spend pointing fingers, the less time you're going to grow as a person, and the less time you're going to be able to move forward. So that's that. Now it's interesting he mentioned pointing fingers, because that's one of the things I noticed when I was looking at his chart, that he has a tendency to point fingers all the time and place blame. Part of that deals with his moon in Pisces, but I'm going to get into some other factors in his chart just to support his mentality in terms of how he views women, in particular black women. So Taye Diggs, he's been in the news before about him making comments about black women and things like that, and how, he even was reported as saying something like, because I was listening to this video today, and he made this one statement. What did he say? He said something like, he said that he was looking in a magazine one day and he saw this beautiful black woman, and he told his mother that he wanted to marry a black woman like that, and his mother told him, no, you're going to marry a white woman. And he said basically that started everything with his attraction to white women and stuff like that. But then later on, he was quoted as saying that his mother was responsible for instilling black pride within him. So he's very much in contradiction with himself. And that deals with his sun being at the 11th degree of Capricorn. So Taye Diggs was born on January 2nd, 1971. That second deals with race, women, also deals with mother, and that can make him quite hypersensitive. So you could tell by now he is very hypersensitive, and he even plays those type of roles in movies. And then his life path number is a 21 and 3, and that speaks to his multiculturalism leaning, and also about him being open to dating other races. So back to his sun being at the 11th degree, that's very much like his birth number 2, so that reinforces that 2 energy because 1 and 1 is 2. However, the number 11 breeds conflict, both internal and external. So it can also breed conflict over race, women, parenthood, and his mother. So that right there off the bat speaks to him being in conflict with himself, with life in general, with his views on women, all types of stuff. His relationship with his mother. Now, what exacerbates the situation is he has Sun square Uranus. So that deals with him not having a strong sense of self. And that could deal with him lacking pride in who he is as an individual. So he cares too much about what people think, and it could cause him to switch up drastically. And it points to him having like an unstable spirit, and that Uranus and square to his sun is like depersonalization. So again, he doesn't have a healthy sense of self or identity. And then also, Sun square Uranus can, in a man's chart, can point to possible homosexual tendencies, but the fact that it's a square can point to he is in conflict about it. Now he was, I think this was either in 2016, yeah, I think it was 2016, where he was on Twitter trying to holler at what's that dude's that basketball player, and he had that wife. Oh, I stopped watching basketball years ago. Oh man, I forget his name. Light skinned dude. He had that wife, and he was in like controversy with his wife over something, Aisha Tyler or so, not Tyler, I don't know, whatever. But let me know in the comments because I know you guys know who I'm talking about. But anyway, he was flirting with him. I think that was him. He was flirting with him on Twitter, and he posted a picture with his ass hanging out. So, yeah, Taye Diggs, he's very questionable in terms of his sexuality, and also he starred in the Broadway hit Hedwig and the Angry Itch, which deals with a transsexual who got a botched surgery, and he's also like a rock star and all that stuff. So he got dressed up in drag and all that stuff, and I was going to point out that too because Taye Diggs' moon is in opposition to Pluto. Now, I don't know what time he was born, so I don't know how close that opposition is, but I'm thinking it's probably rather close because he definitely is in conflict with women. So that moon opposition Pluto could deal with him basically rejecting women, certain women, his own race of women, and having issues with his own race. Basically, not feeling like he belongs as a black man or even in the black world. So that speaks to his upbringing. He did mention that he lived in a predominantly white town, went to a predominantly white school, and that he was made fun of. And him being bullied speaks to, let me see, he got Mercury at the 0 degree of Capricorn, which is very significant, and it's retrograde, and it's conjoined to Arachne. And it's in square to Chiron, so that can point to him being bullied as a kid in school by his schoolmates, feeling like he didn't fit in, feeling like an outcast, being maybe, fun of, ridiculed. But also, did I mention that he has Mercury conjoined to the asteroid Arachne? Now, that deals with him saying stuff that basically causes him to weave, because Arachne deals with you weaving a web. So, like, you weaving a web of intrigue or drama or deceit. So, in his case, it could be deceit, because I definitely see him being deceitful and having some secrets, especially about his sexuality. But also him just weaving a web of hateful diatribes, and that can deal with hateful diatribes against women. And his Mercury is in square to the moons, but again, I don't know what time he was born. The moon moves fast, so I don't know how tight that square is, but I'm thinking it's pretty close. But even if it was like 6 degrees apart, that's still going to make a difference because the moon can wield that much influence. So the moon can also, in square to his Mercury, can also deal with his emotions, cloud his logic, cloud his reasoning. So that can cause him to say stupid stuff out of his mouth, not really thinking about the consequences. So again, Mercury conjoined to Arachne can point to, he weaving this web of drama off of what he says, off of his remarks. And because of Capricorn influence, that can point to hatefulness or him making derogatory remarks or denigrating a certain group of people or what have you. Now, his Mercury is at the 0 degree of Capricorn. That's very significant because that is what is called the Aries point. And when that happens, there is often some type of outside force or influence that largely impacts that person's life, dealing with that planet, dealing with the house, what have you. So in Taye Diggs' case, it seems like he's kind of like brainwashed, or like he was like under mind control maybe as a youth, and that a lot of that could have to do with the hatred that he has towards blacks. And again, he has Mercury in square to Chiron. So Mercury conjoined to Arachne, again, that's a lot of that has to do with that mind control, brainwashing, or you could just consider it to be indoctrination into a certain type of mindset that causes him to have this hatred for certain things, certain people, what have you. It basically boils down to these aspects dealing with Mercury, where his Mercury is basically really badly afflicted by Chiron, the moon, also that asteroid Arachne. That can point to him possibly having some mental health disorder. So I'm not even going to clown the brother because it does look like he's not playing with a full deck. So let me see what else he got going on. I took some notes. Let me see. Oh, yeah, that's right. So back to his sexuality. So Taye Diggs talks about women all the time, and he's talking about, I don't know if I could ever date another white woman, but I'm like, dude, I don't even think you really like women. It looks like he really likes men, but he's in conflict with his sexuality. So one of the things that points to that is he has what I consider the gay lunar nodal axis, and that is when the north node is either in Aquarius or Leo, and the south node is either in Aquarius or Leo. So it could be either or. So a lot of times you're going to see people having some type of relationship with LGBTQ community. They could be gay themselves. They could be in conflict. They could have been gay in a past life, what have you. Not always the case, but I've seen this happen a lot of times. Or it could be that they work in a field that is tailored to the LGBT community, or it could deal with they are just very in touch with that community. It could deal with basically them being mistaken for that. Again, Taye Diggs starred in that head wig and the angry itch as the transsexual character. So that right there can point to that. Now his north node in Aquarius is conjoined to the asteroid Eros, and that deals with lust, sexual attraction. So there it is right there. He definitely has a same-sex attraction going on. But his north node is at the 25th degree of Aquarius, and that could point to secrecy. Also, what fosters the theme of secrecy, his Mars is at the 17th degree of Scorpio. Scorpio deals with things that are undercover, things that are taboo. And then 17, that could deal with someone having something to hide because of their reputation. He's trying to preserve his reputation. To add insult to injury, his Mars is opposing Saturn. So again, that could point to him having something to hide because Saturn is in Taurus. Taurus deals with that which is on the surface, superficial things. Scorpio deals with that which lies beneath the surface, things that you're trying to suppress, things that you're trying to keep undercover. So that could deal with his sexuality. So also that Mars opposition Saturn can deal with him being indoctrinated with this white is right mentality. Also, his Mars is conjoined to Juno. No, my bad. His Saturn is conjoined to Juno, and his Mars is opposition Juno, in opposition to Juno. So that right there points to his main relationship challenge is his sexuality, is his sense of manhood, masculinity, all of that stuff. I would even venture to say that he likes to get dressed up in drag, just for hobbies. You know, that's his personal interest. So him playing the role of Hedwig in the Angry Inch. Excuse me, I'm like in a rush because I got to do something at 7 o'clock my time. So you're gonna have to excuse me if I'm like tripping over my words. But the fact that he starred in that Hedwig and the Angry Inch basically points to he was very comfortable playing that role because he probably does that anyway in his private life. He also has Mars parallel Taureau, and that Taureau deals with male energy. It deals with aggression. It deals with masculinity. And the asteroid Taureau is in Aquarius, so again, there's the theme of homosexuality. So all of this conflict that he has with women, in my opinion, is just a cover, and his moon is in Pisces, like I said, opposing Pluto, so that could deal with he got something to cover up. It can also deal with him liking to dress in drag. Also, maybe he's attracted to drag queens, but I feel like it's more so he likes to dress in drag, and he's attracted to masculine men because he got Mars parallel Taureau, and that could deal with that masculine, hyper masculinity. So he's like the feminine one, and it seems like he prefers masculine men. And then also, what else he got going on? Did I mention he got Sun square Chiron, which can point to him just not feeling whole. Also, not feeling like he's all there. Him changing up his image. Feeling like he's not fully a man. Feeling artificial, like there's something fake about him. Issues with his self-image. It can also point to constant dissatisfaction, self-loathing, and also constant dissatisfaction with life in general. So, I think that's pretty... Oh, did I mention he got Venus at the 26th degree of Scorpio, conjoined to Jupiter? That reinforces the theme of the multiculturalism with the relationships, his choice of women. He is open to women of all races except for black women. And then, let me see what else he got. That's pretty much it on Taye Diggs. I feel like I said enough. Matter of fact, this video is going on 18 minutes. So let me know what you think in the comments. So again, bottom line, Taye Diggs is not so much about the women. It's the fact that he's in conflict with his sexuality. He really wants to come out the closet and be a full-fledged gay man. But because he is this public figure, Mars opposition Saturn, he feels like he has to maintain this image of a heterosexual male. And I'm like, dude, a lot of people already are on to you. I would think a lot of people, but a lot of people still, you know, don't know. So I don't know. But that's my take on Taye Diggs. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you would like a reading, you could go to my website at rabina.com. Peace and many blessings.